So the president's still drawing up his cabinet. You can imagine how difficult it will be to do that because some of the key positions will probably have to go to people from other parties at the same time. There's a massive need for action from government to deal with the problems that we face. Professor Mazwe Majola is an expert on governance and leadership. Professor Majola, good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. I mean, in a way, the president now has to select the team that has to lead with him. These will be people who make big decisions, they lead important departments. What kind of leadership qualities do you think he needs to be looking for in his new cabinet?
Yeah, good evening, Stephen. He is faced with an invidious position there, or situation. It's a big task because now it's not only dealing with his own organization, which is the ANC. He would know these people even as he appoints them, but now he has to consult with other parties that are part of GNU, and they have to come up with a formidable team that will lead the government. I think what I would really say is that he must just go for experience, knowledge, merit-based, ethical, capable leaders as much as he can. As I'm saying that, obviously, that will be in consultation with other political parties. Because remember, now it's going to have this sort of dualism, dual accountability or dual reporting. So you've got the cabinet ministers who will be coming from DA, who will have to report to their own parties, or who would have to account to their own parties, while they have to report directly to the president as well. Same applies to IFP, PA, and other parties. For the ANC, as I've said, it won't be that much difficult because it's the same organization. However, even there, he must make sure that he gets rid of lethargic and lackadaisical leaders, so that whoever he puts there, he must make sure that he does the job.
Professor, I mean, one of the key things now is going to be to the sort of dynamic in this cabinet. So you're going to have people who are political leaders who have their own constituencies. So I'm talking about someone like John Steenhuisen or Velenkosini Hlabisa or Gayton McKenzie. Now, it's one thing to sort of lead when everyone's from your party, you've been elected by the people in the room. This time, you've got strong personalities. I don't know if you've met Gayton McKenzie, but he's a strong personality. John Steenhuisen, comes with a very strong constituency. I mean, leading that group of people, how do you do that?
You see, in business schools, we have courses that we called how to lead difficult people or how to lead difficult situation. I wish you could attend that course. I wish you could just give him that crash course, really, because as a leader, not all the time you will lead people who are like-minded, people who respect you. Others will be very difficult, but it's very important to be bold without being bully. It's very important to be decisive with respect. It's very important to be firm. While we are fair and friendly, so he will make sure that he understands the task, and also he must not have any favoritism. Of course, he must respect people, as I'm saying, but he must be firm. While he's firm, he must be fair and friendly at the same time. But maturity will be very, very important from even other political parties as well, or leaders. Because now they must understand that, look, we are our own bosses. Where we are coming from, we are political leaders. We are coming from, but here we've got to we've got to listen, and we've got to respect the president that will be reporting to.
Professor Majola, I keep thinking of a cabinet meeting, right? Maybe I shouldn't think of it like this, but I keep thinking of all of these people around one room. And I mean, apart from Patricia de Lille, they're all men, which is interesting in itself. There's a whole story we should talk about there. But you've got to chair a meeting with all of these people. I mean, there's certain ways that he could do it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the president. Maybe you've met him. He will probably tell a joke. There'll probably be, some kind of comment. But you've got to set a tone in that first meeting.
Yeah. And we hope that there will be more women, Stephen, in the cabinet. And that is the task that is first with really, because he has to make sure that it deals with gender, it deals with geographical spread, with the intergenerational spread, all those things. However, as I said, what is very important is to be assertive as a leader. You've got to be assertive, you've got to be professional. People must respect you, and you must not demand respect, but you must earn respect. The way you conduct yourself and the way you deal about certain things. So for him, yes, we have these difficult people, but that is when you have to rise into the occasion, because great leaders, Stephen, emerge in times of crisis. That is where you would see exceptional leaders. So he must prove that with this fruit salad kind of cabinet that will be having people coming from all sorts of places, he can be able to build them, and also to make sure that he builds this unity, so that everyone must have this unified and healthy working relationship. That is very, very important.
I wonder if maybe, if it were me, I would give some of these big personalities some big responsibility, something big to do. Go and fix home affairs, or go and deal with health or something. And that does a couple of things. It shows that you trust them. It shows that they actually now have responsibilities. So it shows that you're happy to share power. It also, Professor, keeps them very busy. Would that be a good strategy?
It's one of the good strategy, Stephen. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, you still have to manage and monitor all those things, because you can't just he can't just practice what we'll call in management a laissez-faire leadership style, where you just let people do whatever is the please. Of course, yes, he must respect people, especially those with a good expertise and experience. Then they know the stuff, they know the job. But at the end of the day, the ball stops with him. He's got to call these people, sit down with them, check their progress, and monitor. And he's got to admonish them, correct them. It's got to call shots. That is when he will be respected. But if he's a coward, if he's a weak leader, and then people will walk over him. So it's very, very important that, yes, he must be surrounded by professionals, capable, ethical leaders, but at the end of the day, he's the leader. And that is why we have leaders and followers. So if you want to be a leader, that's one of the costs of leadership.
There's so many things that are going to happen now, and one of the things that can really bring a team together, it doesn't matter who's in it, is strong opposition. The fact that you all share the same fate, you're all on the same boat, if you like. And in this case, all of these parties, and specifically the ANC and the DA together, Songezo Zibi, the leader of Rise Mzansi, suggested on Friday that the ANC and the DA were joined at the hip now. And I thought that was a very important comment, because what that means is that they'll be judged together. So will Gayton McKenzie, so will Velenkosini Khlabisa. And that idea of being judged together, could that push them together? Could that make them work together? Could that make them make concessions? Could that make them maybe, follow the sort of cabinet line when they need to?
See, Stephen, that has been my main concern as this GNU or coalition negotiation started. Because even, of course, they will form this unity government, but we still need a very strong opposition in parliament. And I just hope that those parties who have not joined the GNU, I know that the ANC wanted as many, as broad as possible, but I just hope that those who have not joined, and the so-called, what is it called? Is it Black Caucus or something like
caucus,
that?
Yes.
Progressive, sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, thank you, sir. Progressive Caucus, your EFF, MK, and others. that they will really step into that and rise into the occasion and occupy that role of being opposition, and not just being disruptive, but being a constructive and viable as they do that. Because we cannot just have like-minded, all of these parties doing as they like. We still need to hold the government accountable. So I just hope that that will happen and they will do. But this GNU, I would like to give them what I would call the great C's, you know, because even now they're still grappling with the negotiations and that stuff. The great C's, 5 great C's. Number one, of course, there should be this broad consultation as they are doing now. But 2, communication is very, very important. So they must not, you know, say things, another party say this, another party say that, because they really need to find one another at the end of the day. Clarity, and it speaks to that as well, that they must have this clarity in whatever they want. And 4, compromise. Of course, yes, they will come up with diverse views and policies and other stuff, so they must compromise. And the last is commitment. And then they have to commit to the country that, look, we are together now, we'll try our utmost best to put the country and South Africans first.
Professor Mazwe Majola, leadership and governance expert, thank you very much indeed. I'm sure there'll be lots more conversations to come as the coalition cabinet gets assembled. Well, let's just stay with that.